And welcome Urban Ventures Executive Director J.R. Neville, Sangwi, to the State House this afternoon to talk about the important mission of the organization. I also want to welcome the board members who are here. Its president, Mr. Jaime Aguayo, a long advocate in the business world and a leader. Today is to talk about the urban venture, what we believe can generate jobs and helping the urban economy. Today we'll be highlighting the organization. Recovery from the recession has been slow throughout the state, and the urban areas have been particularly hard hit. It is a focus of many of us in this room to help our neighborhood businesses in urban areas as they seek to establish themselves, employ local residents, and grow to prosperity. I know that my colleague, Representative Silva, who is the Deputy Majority Leader in the House, shares this goal. He and I work along and advocate for urban venture here at the state and also here at the State House. Our colleagues in the legislature are committed to improving the economy. You see Senator Josh Miller, who is here with us, and as a former chair of Commerce, he knows how important it is, and as a small business person, understands that the urban community is struggling and needs all the help possible. Urban Venture is a nonprofit organization that helps small businesses in our neighborhoods to achieve this success. Since their founding in 1999 by the General Assembly, they have worked directly with entrepreneurs, helping them with business plans, tracking, and direct services, providing consulting services. A potential small business owner may be great at their craft, whether it's making sandwiches, producing graphics, computer repair, or something else. But they may be less skilled in navigating bureaucracy or creating a successful business plan. Urban Ventures helps provide the assistance these entrepreneurs need to establish their companies and grow their businesses. I have met with many companies who have told me they simply will not be where they are if it were not for Urban Ventures. Over the past years, I have toured the district and the Elmwood, Broad Street, and Cranston Street district and the Elmwood neighborhood businesses with Governor Chafee, the congressional delegation, Senator Reed, Senator Whitehouse, Congressman Langevin, and Congressman Cicilline, also along with our Secretary of State, Ralph Malles, to display and to hear the concerns of our businesses. JR was there providing that guidance, providing the needs of the businesses. And so it is a pleasure to be here, and I'm glad that you are sharing this moment with us. I hope that you will listen to the presentation. I am joined with my colleague, Deputy Majority Leader, Mr. Representative Silva from Central Falls, who will also speak to the point that Urban Ventures helps many businesses in the urban community and beyond. Representative?
Thank you, Senator. I want to also welcome and thank everyone for taking time out of their day to be here. But it's a very important time for Urban Ventures and for our communities because they're the right fit. I want to tell you about the experiences I've had with Urban Ventures. JR and myself and the board have met on numerous occasions. JR and I have worked very hard to sort of develop businesses and try to get the help that entrepreneurs and existing businesses need to navigate through these very difficult times and the bureaucracy that is out there that makes it very difficult for a new individual who wants to start a business in Rhode Island to get there. This is a model that we should be doing statewide. This is the right model, okay? For the money we invest in Urban Ventures and the quality of work and the businesses that they've helped, you can't beat it. This is what we should be looking, and this is the model that we should be doing statewide. And that's the message that I hope everyone gets from here as this presentation goes forward. JR, the dedication, the board and JR, the dedication that they have for everyone in the state of Rhode Island, but especially our urban communities, to help those individuals who are already in business, stay in business, help them navigate, get the papers and everything they need, and feel comfortable to go into an institution and ask for a loan, but to make sure that they're ready to go there. Because a lot of individuals will go into a bank or somewhere and not have the proper paperwork or be ready for all the questions they're going to ask them, and they get turned down, get discouraged, and then they go somewhere else. But JR and the board and his dedication to those individuals and the amount of hours he puts in with those individuals, day after day, weekends, nights, and I don't know how his family does it, but they're blessed to have you. And but that's why I'm here, and that's why the senator's here, and that's why the board. You've got a great product here. This is what we need to send a message to the state, the rest of our senators and reps, to support and the governor and our leadership to support an initiative like this. This is important, and we have the proof, and you're going to see it. We have the outcomes. We have the businesses, some successful and some not. But for the little amount of money that we put in every year and the outcomes that come out, if you read the documentation and you look at and you listen to the presentation, you'll be amazed and wonder, why haven't we done this before? What's taken us so long to get there? We have it here. We have it right in front of us. We just haven't pushed it where we need to be. And that's our challenge up here at the Senate, to talk to our leadership to make sure it goes. And that's why I'm involved. It's because we know there's a need, but it also with the dedicated people that are here driving Urban Ventures, and the businesses that are here to talk about it, and they'll share their experiences. But you can't get a better group of people to move the need, especially with the speaker and the Senate president, about businesses, and the economy. That's our goals, to help everyone, to help businesses create jobs, and we're creating jobs. Urban Ventures is creating jobs. They're businesses that they're helping are creating the jobs, but they're getting the help from Urban Ventures with JR and the board support. This is what we need to move. It's right in front of us. So I want to right now introduce JR, who's the executive director, and he'll continue the presentation. But thank you again.
Good afternoon, senators, representatives, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Senator Pichardo. Thank you, Rep. Silver, for having us here today, where it all began 14 years ago. I would also like to thank all the senators and representatives who, for years now, have helped fund Urban Ventures. Urban Ventures, as you heard, is a non-for-profit 501c3 organization founded in 1999 by the legislation of Rhode Island to help small businesses develop, grow, and open up and create jobs. We do this through education, training, and consultation. At the core of Urban Ventures' magic is a diverse and outstanding voluntary board made up of business and community leaders who I'm proud to follow their leadership. These distinguished members are Mr. Jaime Aguayo, Mr. Julius Kolawale, Dr. Edward Macy, Mr. Adam Diaz, Mr. Bob Fay, Dr. Chong Wong, Mrs. Gertrude Jones, Mr. Andrew Kagan, and Mrs. Ada Crossan. Since our inception, Urban Ventures has directly assisted over 600 Rhode Island small businesses in 13 different industries. Our client demographics represent the Hispanics, the Caucasian, the African American, the Native Americans, the Asian and African business communities in the state. Our clients spread from Main Street economy to the knowledge-based economy, from innovators to renovators. And at Urban Ventures, we understand what it takes to assist urban businesses become successful and consequently generate jobs. Here are some of the services we offer at no charge to the clients: business and market plan writing, business mentorship, and one-on-one consultation. Many a times we handhold the businesses and assist them navigate the difficult business environment. But what sets Urban Ventures apart from other business assistance providers is our commitment and a creative approach to urban economic problems. 2 years ago, the board and I began researching on new and innovative ways to provide services and assistance to urban businesses. We realize that smartphones, iPads, and computers are the new tool and medium for striving businesses. Webinars and teleconferences are rapidly coming the norm. Consequently, we also realize that a business model like ours, which relies heavily on a physical incubator, was more costly to manage, limited in outreach to the clients, and needed a change. This realization led us to co-write the Broadband Rhode Island federal grant, which brought $4.5 million to the state. We envisioned, designed, and developed an incubator through our website at www.urbanventuresri.org, which is going to effectively and efficiently reach and service more urban businesses and entrepreneurs in an inexpensive, convenient manner. Our redesigned website in English and Spanish will enable us to collect accurate data, provide business and industrial information, webinars, and provide access to professional mentors. We are excited about introducing vital new business programs like our Certified Bankability, Certified Investability, and Adopt a Small Business in Rhode Island. Our Certified Bankability program would enable businesses and entrepreneurs know, understand, and prepare to meet with lenders, while lenders would have an access to a ready pool of certified borrowers. Our Certified Investability program will enable businesses and entrepreneurs meet with private investors and raise private equity for their ventures without having to solely rely heavily on debt financing. Finally, our Adopt a Small Business in Rhode Island program will enable the average Rhode Islander to participate in growing Rhode Island economy by providing focused and targeted finance and expert donations to businesses through urban ventures. Unfortunately, we have encountered our own fair share of setbacks along the way. The broadband funds which we participated in was reallocated in other areas, and urban ventures did not receive the funds as expected. Furthermore, our state community grant funding got cut in the last 3 years from $150,000 to $73,000. Due to these cuts and reallocations of grants, Urban Ventures has lost its program coordinator, and we are left with a single staff person, thus making it very difficult to efficiently and effectively manage the rising requests for business assistance. Additionally, we have fallen behind in the schedule of providing the urgent and much needed assistance to the urban entrepreneurs and businesses. Despite these setbacks, I still speak to you here today with a burning excitement and a hopeful tomorrow because of two reasons. First, we strongly believe that the new initiatives will produce a sustainable business environment, create wealth, and consequently create jobs. Second, because we believe in the legislature. They have and continue to assist urban ventures build a strong and prosperous urban economy. As you have heard, we know what it takes to help assist urban businesses grow and create jobs. At this time, I would like to invite our board president, Mr. Jaime Aguayo, to provide a historic context and also speak shortly about the Urban Ventures Board. Thank you very much.
Senator Pichardo, Representative Silva, thank you very much for having us here today. I'm very honored to be here. I felt that JR should provide a programmatic picture of urban ventures. I would like to talk to you about something a little different. I was telling Andrew that perhaps I might say the wrong thing. I always do. But what happens, I've been working in small business for 27 years in Rhode Island. When we started working in the Latino community, for example, there might be 1 or 2 bodegas, maybe 1 or 2 restaurants. It took many years and an effort for a lot of people to get together and create more businesses in the Latino community. Not only that, but we also got involved in making certain that they purchase where they operated from. So we started a very aggressive ownership program. However, that initial community, which was the first generation Latinos, it was totally different. Today we have a different community. We have the 3rd or 4th generation Latinos totally bilingual, highly educated. Their needs are totally different than the parents or the grandparents. We are not really prepared to deal with that. We actually don't have the mechanism to provide the information that they need to help them with their business plans and actually to investigate and explore the different business options and possibilities that are out there for them. Presently, we have 2 Latinos in the Lincoln Mall. We have 3 Latinos in the Swansea Mall. We have 1 at Emerald Mall. And now you find Let me tell you a story very quickly. I'm a boater, and I went to Corihunk. I don't know if you people know what Corihunk is. It's part of the Martha's Vineyard operation over there. And they have a small store. So my wife sent me over to get some milk. So I got on my boat, got in my dinghy, went over to buy the milk. And I went to the place. They had merengue going on in the music, you know. I said, what the hell is this? And I spoke to the lady, what's going on? Oh, we bought the bodega. Now it's not, as a community store. Now it's a bodega in Corihunk. It's all, of course, there are not too many Latinos in Corihunk. Probably them and me. So, we're expanding everywhere. We have a lot of Latinos in business in Martha's Vineyard, some in Block Island, the jewelry business. We're all over the place. In addition to this, we have the African community, which also is really getting into businesses, and we try to help them out. They don't really understand the regulatory process, so we are very actively involved in the African community. In the Afro-American community, which is a little different type of community, there's a lot of advocacy and a lot of leaders in the Afro-American community providing that assistance, but we also provide assistance to the Afro-American community. So I think that the work is cut out for us. This is a program that is needed. When I was in the SBA, we had the Small Business Developer Center right in Broad Street that no longer exists. There's a lot of programs that going out of existence. Urban League is out of existence. OIC went out of existence. The Hope Center is out of existence. So there are really no resources out there for the small business community. And it's very sad because this is the time, because the changing nature of business, the changing nature of the different industries, this is where this help is really needed. And last but not least, my last comment is this. There has to be a partnership between government and the small business. But one of the things that government and the political elite has to do is to stop demonizing small businesses and people who work hard and make money. We're afraid of going someplace and telling people that, I'm in business and I'm making a profit. Because immediately everybody looks at me like I'm the devil, I'm bad. And the political class has to change that dynamic. Because what's happening is that it's stopping the private sector and the public sector coming together in harmony to solve these issues and problems. But as long as the power elite and the government keep on demonizing small businesses and profit is bad, we're going to have a problem. It's not going to be a solution to this problem. And I think everybody has to contribute towards this solution. I think that we are providing, an option, an alternative, but also government has to do their best. It's not enough just to have meetings and conferences, and we all get together and we agree that everything is bad. And that's not good enough. We have to actually get involved in real program. For example, EDC, one of the things I suggested many years is that it should have in the website, all the business opportunity, all the business for sale in Rhode Island. Those are anonymous. Don't you think that EDC should be doing that? All the different facilities available for businesses that people can rent or buy. That's not in a website. So, the solution to this problem is simple. We just make it complex by really getting involved and being misled as to what to do. But I think that the solution is right in front of us. We have a big state agency that, if properly directed, can help us, and I think we can do our part. But everybody else has to pitch in. Thank you.
This time I would like to call on Dr. Macy to say a word. Not a problem.
I have to introduce the professor of business, Dr. Edward Massey, professor at the University of URI. He also taught in Puerto Rico. He claims that he knows Spanish, but he doesn't.
Well, first of all, I also want to thank Rep. Silver and Senator Pichardo, and also Senator Miller, who has been a tremendous champion for business even before he became a senator. I had met him, and he was always out there advocating for the small businesses in the state. Now, I'm going to be the individual that's going to tell you all the truth. Urban Ventures works, is doing the work. Urban Venture works. For $73,000, they see over 40 clients. They help people reach their dreams. When I met Senator Pichardo back in the early 2000s, we both came to the conclusion about how Rhode Island was going to change demographically. When I teach at URI, I tell the students to look around the room and notice that everybody doesn't look alike. Doing business in the urban areas is one of the most difficult places to do business. I would venture a guess that there is nobody in this room that has gone through the experiences that I've gone through in the urban areas. I grew up in the South Bronx. That was definitely not Park Avenue. I was dean at Seton Hall and worked in Newark. I was on the New Detroit Committee after the city burnt down in 1967. People who run businesses in urban areas are generally underrepresented. And in Rhode Island, it's even more serious than any of the other places that I've been at, because there are over 80,000 businesses in Rhode Island with less than 4 people working, and there's 70,000 or so businesses in Rhode Island with only 1 employee, namely the owner of that business. When you look at what an urban business has to go through, you also have to recognize that rather than looking for sympathy, they're looking for empathy. They're looking for government. They're looking for chambers of association, chambers of commerce. They're looking for professional associations. They're looking for all sorts of groups to come in and mentor and support. I came to Rhode Island in 1998 from being dean of the business school at the University of North Carolina in Charlotte. I will tell you, since 1998, that the urban areas in Rhode Island have definitely been crying, and they need the help of organizations like Urban Ventures. And I'm really hoping that this year, with the great leadership of Rep. Silva and Senator Pichardo, and hopefully Senator Miller and others, that we're going to be able to give Urban Ventures the resources that they need to work with women who want to go into business, work with African Americans who want to go into business, work with Latinos who want to go into business, work with East Indians who want to go into business, work with American Indians who want to go into business, and work with Asian Americans who want to go into business. Right now, minority businesses in Rhode Island are about 25% of the total number of businesses. I would like to see that become 50% of the businesses, and the only way that's going to happen is going to be through organizations like Urban Ventures. The other organizations have not worked. That's how simple it is. You do a cost-benefit analysis, and you will discover on a per-client basis, Urban Ventures is the best investment our General Assembly is making in the urban areas. It is the best investment. And with that, I'd like to thank you. And again, I'm looking forward. I've been on the board of Urban Ventures for a number of years. I see the work that they do, and I know there's a lot more work that could be done. Thank you very much.
At this moment, we're going to play a short video, and you get a flavor of the diversity on the board and some of the issues they have approached.
I am J.R. Nelson. I'm the Executive Director of Urban Ventures, and my was that have been helped by Urban Ventures. And I heard one person after another stand up and say, I wouldn't be where I am today if I am J.R. Nelson. I'm the Executive Director of Urban Ventures, and by profession, I'm an industrial designer.
I think that we essentially help in the small business. Again, define, with those industries or the businesses that have less than 50 employees. And we have helped them. We have helped hundreds of them with business plan, with information, with tracking, with providing direct services. One of the things that JR does, and does very effectively, is that he gets the board involved in a lot of these cases.
The composition of the state, the demographics of the state, have changed so dramatically in the last quarter of a century that an organization like Urban Ventures, which is out there working with potential entrepreneurs could really make a difference in helping Rhode Island move forward.
For small businesses to have an organization like Urban Ventures right at their doorstep, I think is great. They can obtain the tools that they need to navigate the system and make their business more successful.
When I first became a member of the board, JR invited me to go to a meeting with all these entrepreneurs that have been helped by Urban Ventures. And I heard one person after another stand up and say, I wouldn't be where I am today if it wasn't for their support. And some of the businesses seemed like they were pretty substantial by the time they were at that meeting.
I agreed to be a volunteer on the board. And I'm happy I did, because I have seen wonders done by Urban Venture. I've seen how they've moved the minority community, especially those who are trying to open a business or those who currently own a business.
There are many people in our community with wonderful skills and ideas and want to develop businesses and make them grow. And they're very skilled in what they do, but what they are not necessarily skilled in is the nuts and bolts of forming a business plan and wading your way through the bureaucracy and getting the business off the ground.
Urban Ventures is a very unique organization that focuses on coaching our clients, not on general principles of getting a business, but actually to focus onto their specific unique business and allow them to survive in the Rhode Island environment.
We have been able to provide great services, and if we could increase the amount of funds that we receive, we'd be able to leverage upon what we're doing already and grow it exponentially.
I am honored to be a part of this board because I see what Urban Ventures has and what it can serve to our community.
I've seen trust which does not exist between the community, the business community, the minority area, and the so-called established agencies.
Urban Ventures represents a marvelous opportunity for the people of Rhode Island to take advantage of its resources.
At this time, I'd like to introduce Mr. Alfonso Acevedo from American News. He's one of two businesses that would testify and exemplify the people Urban Ventures work so hard to serve. Mr. Alfonso.
Good afternoon. My name is Alfonso Diaz de Viro. I run the American News, the Spanish newspaper, the oldest newspaper in Spanish in Rhode Island. No matter if Spanish community is only the 15% in Rhode Island, are contributing for the last 60 years in all states. And Urban Ventures is one of the key for this community since I met Mr. JR and his personnel. I received a lot of guidance and very important information in order to continue growing my newspaper. Because I say, no matter if the business just started 5 years ago, 3 years ago, or has 20 years in Rhode Island, Urban Ventures is one of the important assets for our merchant community. So I come in here just to say thanks to Urban Ventures and thanks to the all representatives who's working for allocated some funding or help for organizations like the Urban Ventures. We have many of those on Rhode Island, but Urban Ventures are very, very good leaders, especially for the kind of information and guidance they provide to the merchants. So I am one of the beneficiaries of this work of Urban Ventures for the last 4 years. So thank you for all.
And at this time, I'd like to call on Mr. Paris Weiss from Providence Cellulose Fiber Company. Mr. Paris.
Good afternoon. I'm here today to talk about Urban Ventures and their importance in the community and in the state. And I just want to do it in 2 different levels. Level one is what they've done for me. I've worked on many businesses before, started and had success and not some success with some of the businesses that I've had. This is the first time I've really worked with somebody and an organization like JR and Urban Ventures that has brought me to another level of professionalism within the business community itself. Without Urban Ventures' help, I wouldn't be able to do things that I'm doing with this particular business that I'm starting up right now. And he's brought me to the point where really we're seeking funding for the business, and it's a really good thing. It's a really good thing. Urban Ventures, to me, is a vital link within the community. You have the state, and the state is supported by its capital city and many cities throughout it. Those cities are supported by the communities, right? The communities are supported by all the individual small businesses. It's not the Coca-Cola companies, it's not the Pepsis, it's not the GMs that run everything. Everything is based from the small business, and everything branches and builds on that. Without a good network of small, successful businesses that are out there, nothing's really gonna come together for anybody. You need that, and you need it. And Urban Ventures does a good point of not only bringing it all together and presenting the business and the person to the right people, but they do it in a way that it empowers you. It empowers you to get out and really strive and have perseverance on your own business, your own self, to bring it forth what it is. So for that, I would just like to, I appreciate Urban Ventures and the work that they do in the community. They are very much a vital need within the community. There are a lot of businesses that are out there, but none of them really take it to the level that Urban Ventures does. Nobody brings it to those points. Then nobody brings the point of running a business and how to run a business home like Urban Ventures does with its clients. I know they've done that with me, and that's all I have to say. Thank you.
As we almost come to the close of this wonderful historic event for Urban Ventures, I'd like to talk a little bit briefly about what's next. What's next is we're going to be transiting into the e-incubator, the virtual incubator, as an Ellen said, which would provide an efficient medium for businesses across the state of Rhode Island to access cogent and diligent services. We are very excited. We would invite you to visit the Urban Ventures website at www.urbanventuresri.org. We are actually releasing the new programs, the Bankability Certification Program, Investability, and the Small Business Adoption Program. I would also like to thank Senator Pichardo and Rep. Silver for their continuous and relentless support to Urban Ventures. And again, on behalf of the board and the clients, I'd say thank you. I want to invite you to close the event.
Well, I wanted to thank everyone for being here tonight and today, actually, and JR and the board for all the wonderful work you do, and the businesses who come up here. But they also help more than the individual person and business. They also help build the gap, between your politicians, legislators, and the mistrust that a lot of individuals have in them, and that we don't do things that help our urban communities. And with JR in the middle as a go-between and the reach that we have out to the communities, that's building that gap and the trust that sometimes we do things right. And we're going to continue that with Urban Ventures and the board, and just continue helping our urban communities and urban businesses and entrepreneurs in the state of Rhode Island. So once again, thank you for being here today. And Senator Pichardo.
Thank you, Representative Silva, and thank you all for being here, and obviously to J.R. Neville for the presentation and for all of you doing the public service, because I know you do that on a volunteer basis. So I want to thank Gertrude and its president, Jaime Aguayo, and Dr. Macy for providing those insight. And you're right, Dr. Macy, when we look up here in the Senate or in the House of Representatives, when we start to grow businesses, we think of larger businesses. How many jobs can we actually create? Our focus is to help the mom and pop businesses that's starting just like when they were starting in a garage or just starting a bodega. Those dreams, to make them the American dream. And when we say that a dollar is stretched and you stretch it to make it $2, $4, I think Urban Venture is that organization. For us as a General Assembly, we're asking not only Senator Miller and Senator Metz, who is here, and others are my colleagues in the House and the Senate, is to help us grow the businesses in the local community and support the $140,000 that we have requested to support the Urban Venture Initiative. Because we know it is critical for jobs in the community, for families who are depending on small jobs and their own businesses, and that's what our communities are asking. While we invest in larger companies, we have to invest in neighborhood businesses, small businesses, emerging businesses. Lastly, today I was at Bryant University celebrating World Trade Day, celebrating 29 years. That organization and that initiative has grown tremendously to over 600 people. And when you look at the economy now and the market and the emerging market, our urban community is an international oasis that consumes various products, that ships back home, that invests in our kids. And that's a reminder that we need to invest as Rhode Islanders in that local economy, and it's in our neighborhoods. That's the way, through Urban Venture and through initiative like that, it's how we're going to bring jobs in the neighborhoods, but bring jobs to Rhode Island. Thank you very much. Thank you for being here.